Love waiting for this to go live. There we go. It's official. Yay. Hello, hello. How is everybody today? I'm so excited to connect with you. I cannot believe this is the last month of this year. I'm sure for some of you it feels like it's gone by quickly. This year has been such a doozy. Like in beautiful, profound, crazy, difficult ways, right? And so I don't know. I'm just like let's end this year on a high note. So I am going to be connecting to the energy of what's going to be unfolding for December, what we get to play with, what we get to focus on. So I'm not going to take a lot of time before just jumping into this, but I do want to share. I have an incredible event that is going to be December 30th and January 5th, and it's called Release and Receive Ceremony. And I'm so into experiences right now. I think there's so much information always available to us in our worlds, in our lives, so we can, Google anything. But there's such a opportunity right now to be present within ourselves and really receive our information. So, this event basically is going to be 5 hours broken into 2 nights where we're going to be doing breath work both nights. We're going to be doing journaling prompts, really like closing out the year on a high note, seeing the soul lessons so that you don't repeat what you don't want to repeat. And the things that you do want to repeat, the things that you want to call in, you can amplify and you can make even better for next year. And then when we step into the second part of it, we're going to be doing the receiving, because we're going to receive and versus producing our future, we're going to really receive the intuitive downloads and the clarity of what it is that you want to create. And I want to get precise and focused, because if you don't have specificity, wait, I can't even say that. If you're not specific about what you want, I'm going to try that word again because I blundered it. That, vague kind of like goals get vague results. I'm not even about goals. If anything, it's soul goals. So, anyways, that event is $333. It's going to be incredible. I'm going to be doing channeling and some card pulls for the guests that it will be attending. It's going to be nice and intimate. So, I'll put the link in the comments later. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to jump right into the month of December. We have big freaking energy, don't we always? But this feels like we're closing. I mean, it's obviously we're closing out a year, but it feels on another level. Like with this new moon that we have this Friday in Sagittarius with a solar eclipse, we are closing out an 18-month cycle. Big closure that started back in June of 2020. So I want you to, while I'm getting ready to pull these cards, I want you to think about where were you at in June of 2020 and what has changed in your life. And if you're anything like me, who is a Sagittarius, my whole life has completely shifted in the most amazing, incredible ways. But there was some work to get there. But yeah, so I just want you to think about that for a second while I'm pulling the overall card for December. And let's see what it is. How beautiful. It's the crown chakra. So anytime I get these chakra cards in this deck, this is the Psychic Tarot deck, just in case you guys are wondering, I feel like it's such a deep invitation to co-create our reality. And that's what this is. I mean, we really are stepping into this. We've been in a wormhole and a portal that closes out on Friday. But with the new moon in Sagittarius, so Sagittarius is shamanic, expansive, the philosopher, spirituality, questioning your belief systems. And I think that we have this really gorgeous opportunity to look at our relationship to our divinity. How have you grown? How have you transcended the ego? How can you transcend duality? and not get caught up in all the noise and the chaos that's happening right now in our planet. There's a place for it, right? But there's also a deeper, thing with going within yourself. This to me feels like the more that we are able to resource within ourselves our answers versus looking out to the external world, which really means like we're developing that inner territory, the mystery of the inner territory, um, the more set we are going to be for next year. Next year feels very much like you have to be prepared to enjoy the ride because there's going to be a lot of twists and turns. Upside, like I see a roller coaster in my head, and I've said this before, but when we have roller coasters, right? If we're like holding on super tight and we're just like, our bodies are kind of tense, then we're going to have a difficult experience on that roller coaster. But when you trust the whole process, when you trust the dips and the twists and the turns of life, and you're in flow and you know that you are focused on the specific frequencies of the things that you want to call in your life, then you're co-creating with the divine, and all the ups and downs of the external reality don't bother you as much. So this is a month to develop your inner fortitude, your strength, your resiliency, and to trust the path that's been unfolding. I mean, can you see the miracles and the beauty of what has transpired in the last 18 months of your life? Sagittarius, that's what we're going to be in most of the month until we move into Capricorn, ask us to really trust in the higher plan, to see beyond the veil, to trust in the visions of your third eye, like what you can't see physically with your real eyes, but can see maybe on a deeper level. So this is going to be with us all month, this crown chakra, this energy of being with the divine and co-creating. And I'm excited about that because with this new moon on Friday, we have a really beautiful, expansive opportunity to dive into that, and I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so today Neptune moved direct. We only have Chiron and Uranus now in retrograde, so we are, a couple months ago, I think it was like 2 or 3 months ago, we had 7 planets in retrograde. So things are starting to like move forward. Things are starting to happen. So it's really amazing. So let me see so I'm going to pull this card for just the rest of, like, for today until Sunday. And then every other card I'm going to pull is for a Monday that starts our week. I do post like a mini version of this on my Instagram and Facebook. So I'm getting better at that and getting more consistent. And I notice how much I talk in these because I get the transcripts from my virtual assistant, and I'm just like, oh my God, I talk so much. I do love to tell a good story every now and then, right? So this doesn't surprise me. We got the Hermit card. Well, in this deck it's called Solitude, but in the traditional tarot it's called the Hermit. I love this card. This is, I mean, how perfect. It's a 9 card. We're closing out this like incredible cycle, like I said, of 18 months of energy. And it behooves you to go within, to think about what has changed, what has evolved, how has your soul shown you within the last year and a half who you really are and what is super important to you, and how you want to close out this cycle and start a whole new cycle of energy, starting with this Friday new moon in Sagittarius. What would your soul have you do? It's interesting because I say that very specifically because it's like our ego has things it wants us to do. But this card, this energy of this week for the rest of the week is like, what is your soul asking? What is the soul wanting to create for you? What is the energy that feels if you get clarity on how you shifted and changed and what you've released and what you're continuing to release, then I want you to think about, like, what energy do you want to play in? What energy do you want to play in for going forward, for into next year? And I'm just getting this. I think we're going to really be able to this week receive some beautiful, beautiful information, psychic information. We're going to be very connected. In your meditation space, if you ask the question, Divine, show me the energy that I'm really supposed to be playing in for the upcoming year, even more so than I'm already doing now. Have that be a meditation question. Every day, be very intentional about what it is that you're going to be cultivating for your experience. We are the creators, co-creators of our reality. And too many of us want to, like, just kind of like, we just leave it to automatic pilot. We're busy. We got a lot of things going on. This energy is saying, be intentional. Let go of some of your distractions. Come into the quietude of your being and journal and process and finish the release process of this last 18 months. For some of you, you might still kind of be dropping out some energy. There might be some things that you're just letting go of. Perfect. The other thing I'm hearing is, we are going to firmly, okay, so if you follow my energy reports, I said last time with this, with the eclipse cycle that we're in for these 2 weeks, that started at the full moon a couple weeks ago. I think it was on the 19th, I want to say. But there was a energy, sorry about that, of stepping into a wormhole and things moving very quickly and very fast. And so what I'm hearing is, for a lot of you, this is the grounding and the integration of that. So many things happened, maybe some things have shifted in your life, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, okay, I want to, like, hold this energy, hold this frequency, and I want to see it go into my life. How do I ground this in? How do I accept this new reality? How do I it's like there's like a peace that I feel coming through my body. How do I come into full peace with all the changes that have occurred, and understand that I deserve this? That's the other piece of this. They're saying if something big came into your reality in the last couple of weeks, or something's happening and you feel it, but you're kind of like wobbly, like, do I deserve this or not? Yes, of course you deserve this. You co-created this. And so just remembering that. So that's for this rest of this week. For the new moon in Sagittarius, I'm going to be hosting a new moon webinar on Friday. So if you guys want to join me, just message and I'll send you the details for that. But just remember, the Sagittarius energy is very shamanic and spiritual. So allow for, like, that kind of energy to come into your reality this weekend. Don't be scared if you get more downloads than you normally do, because this is Sagittarius is all about expansion. So imagine, like, what is that part of your awareness that you want to expand? Is it your ability to see truth? Is it your ability to heal yourself, to co-create in future a new reality? Like, really be intentional this Friday about what it is that you want to expand and amplify. Okay, so there's that. So I'm going to move to the 6th. And let's see what we're going to get for the 6th. Okay. Oh my God, we're getting, like, such, like, it feels like very vague energy with these, but that's why I channel. But it's just funny that it's like, we got the crown chakra, the solar plexus. Okay, solar plexus card for the 6th. The first thing that I hear for this energy is, I am worthy to receive, fill in the blank. What are you worthy to receive? What are you willing to bet on in your life? Like if you were at the blackjack table or something, or the craps table in Las Vegas, what are you willing to, I think it's called double down. Mind you, I have not been to Vegas in so many years, so I don't even know why I use it as an example, which is kind of funny. But the point being, if you were to take fear out of the equation, what are you willing to bet on in your life? Like, what is it that you really want? There's a whole thing around structure this week, creating a new structure for your reality to bring in the thing that you really desire. So, if you were to come up with your dream home, right, there has to be plans, architectural plans to develop it, to build it, right? This is the week that I see you creating that vision of what it is that you desire and coming up with the plans for it. Like maybe reverse engineering it, really getting in your power, trusting that everything that's happened to you thus far was the, you know, the raw material to help you build this thing or help you create or have that thing. Reminding you that you're in the becoming. It may not be fully in your reality just yet, but this is the week that you have to you get to trust that process of creation. I also see for some of you that are wanting to connect deeper with other people. This is kind of a random message, but this is a time that you're going to be connecting more with your soul tribe. It feels like your solar plexus is really like your sun, and you're beaming out and you're connecting with those like-minded souls. You're finding your tribe. We've been going through such a metamorphosis in our society, in our culture and collective, and they're saying to me, this is the time to get in your power and be around the people that support and love you and make you feel seen, heard, and witnessed. There's no more time to spend our energy where there is big leaks. So what I mean by that is those energy leaks that we get sometimes when we're around the like people that pull on us, or it could be an energy leak like you're in a job that you can't stand and you keep showing up for it because you're like, I have to do this. Like this is the week we really got to like think about our power and our worthiness and what you're willing to say yes and no to. We have to let go of this notion of have to. This is no longer a time for people pleasing. This is a time to have confidence in your abilities, your gifts, and who you are, and to show up. For some of you, this is going to be an opportunity to go bigger in your career and to really connect with your soul tribe. I see literally like a full like structure, divine blueprint template sinking in for a lot of you, where like maybe over this last, year, 18 months, you haven't had the clarity of like what you're supposed to be doing with your business or your gifts or your purpose. And all of a sudden something happens this week and it's like it locks in and you're like, I need to take action on this. So this is not I'm going to keep spinning and keep thinking and wondering what that is. It's like, no, I see it and I am going to take decisive action. Faith in action. Betting, double downing, showing up. I mean, I could feel this one really strongly. So that's the energy. Wherever in your life you've been hesitant and waiting, this is the week to commit and dedicate and take action. Okay? And I suspect that for some of you, the Hermit week is going to be part of that process of you being able to step into your power. Like if you take the time to really be with your energy and to integrate everything that's been happening, it's kind of like that clarity drops in and you're clear of like, okay, this is where I want to go. This is what I'm meant to do going forward. And it doesn't have to be some big thing, you guys. It doesn't have to be like, oh my God, I'm going to save the world. But if that's your thing, by God, please go do it, because we need more people trying to save the world. But it might just be like I can even feel it in my own energy. I've made like little promises to myself and about things that I want to do, and I haven't been doing them because I didn't have the clarity. And now it's like the throat chakra also seems like it gets a fine-tuned clearing where you're able to express yourself with more, you're more articulate, you're more eloquent. um yeah, so it's not, I mean, obviously it's a solar plexus energy of showing up in your divine purpose, but it's through your throat chakra that you articulate and you express it to the world, and that feels really on point this week. Okay, so there's that. So that's the 6th. The 13th, let's see what comes through. I think on that week, we do have a power day on the 12/12, and then we are getting closer. Okay, so the following week, the 13th, let's see. Let me see what we got going on. So much energy. Jeez. You know, the last thing I want to say too, because it sparked it with this card that I'm just looking. I'll say this, show you guys this. There's going to be a lot going on in the collective. There already is. There's so much happening. Part of you being aligned with your divine purpose, going back to the crown chakra, means that you don't get lost in the sea of chaos that's happening externally. You have rhyme and reason of why you're showing up in your life, and you have to stay attuned to that. And then we get this card, stand your ground. This card feels like a continuation of the solar plexus, where you have to be in your boundaries. The sacredness of your mission is what I'm hearing too. This is a spiritual card. This is, in some ways, this is kind of also speaking to me about like spiritual warfare. And I don't like to get all like dark and weird about stuff like that, but there is a battle between light and darkness always happening on the planet. There's duality. And this is a card that's saying to you, don't go down the crazy rabbit holes. Stay grounded to your truth. And your truth, this is the week that you might see that your truth is very different than the person next to you. I often say this, when we are co-creating realities, you will find that the reality you're living is very different than the person right next to you. Like they might live next door to you, but yet you guys are living in like two completely different like dimensional states. Do you want to succumb to what other people are doing and the energy of what's happening, or do you want to stay where you're at? And I highly recommend you stay where you're at. You've done the work. So this is about keeping that high frequency. It's trusting the bigger plan of your life. It's not getting caught up in that soup of energy that is riddled with fear right now on the planet. Picking your battles. So that's the macro, the micro, right? In your personal life. Well, how do you want to use your energy? Because it's a continuation of the same with the solar plexus, where you don't want to be subscribing to energy leaks. I kind of see almost like we have this really gentle layer of energy around. It's like almost like a film around our auric fields. And I guess what I mean by that is I think there's going to be a psychic sensitivity where you might just be picking up more information. For those of you that are very tuned into other people, you might be feeling a lot more. And so it's really about being mindful of what you take in, and just keeping your boundaries. And it's a simple yes or no. This also might be a week that you're renegotiating something, that you're looking at your heart and asking yourself, what would this look like if I saw this from a higher vantage point? That might be with your relationships. It might be, specifically with health or something, but you're being asked to see things from a higher grounding, not from uh, the past. That's the other piece of this. You don't want to be repeating the past. There feels like there's an energy this week where it would be easy to fall prey to the past and how you used to do things. Because for some of you, you've created a new reality, right? Like things are different, and you don't want to go backwards. So this is where you really hold that frequency and you sustain it and you trust in everything that's happening. Um, the other piece that I see is this is really interesting. Hold on to your dreams this week. So if you have something that you want to implement, we started taking action the week before, right? If there's some big dream that's dropping in or something that you're getting really excited about, I encourage you this week, and I don't usually say stuff like this, but keep it to yourself. Like, don't share your dreams until you are sturdy within that energy. Keep some of it to yourself. I feel like there's a lot of like pokey energy this week. Like people are like really activated. They're a little bit more energetically charged. So you got to be mindful of where you're sharing everything and how you're using your energy and just not taking things personally. Don't take things personally this week. So that's for the 13th. The 19th, we have a full moon, and I believe it's in Gemini. Venus is going to make it's going to go into retrograde. There's going to be, an intensity around that. Your relationships can deepen because of Venus going into retrograde. Venus is in Capricorn right now. Capricorn is structure, right? So, yeah. So that full moon in Gemini, thinking about Gemini's information, you might receive some great, there's it's story, it's information, it's perspective. Just notice on that full moon, obviously full moons are about gratitude, they're not about manifesting. Being grateful for what is, and then thinking about your relationship space, your heart, hopefully that week of the 13th, when you're really being mindful and taking good care of you, you'll be fully prepared for that full moon energy that's going to come through. And the 20th, let's see, this is the week of Christmas. I can't believe it. Oh my God. What the heck? We get this card. I don't know what is happening this month, but it's like it's just interesting. Like the feeling I get is that this card is sacrifice. It's about surrendering. It goes very beautifully with the crown chakra. It's about knowing that you're going to put the work in for something, that you're going to make something happen, but that you don't have to produce it all yourself, that you get to come out of the darkness into the light. I feel like we've had this card, I think it was last month. And this card to me is really like let go of your preconceived notions of the way things need to be. Surrender to what the divine is trying to bring into your awareness. This is a week that a lot of us, in certain parts of the world are going to be with family. It's emotional. There's a lot of mental health stuff going on during this time. You need to take really good care of yourself this week. And understand that any obstacles or challenges that come up for you are there to help you grow. To really focus in on the things that are going right. It's not that this is a bad week at all. It's not that. It's just this feels like you really need to be tethered to the physical reality. Or you're going to be tethered to the physical reality. You're going to feel a lot. There's a lot coming up for people. And the more that you can cultivate time to go within and meditate, pray, contemplate to get your internal wisdom. It's going to be very helpful. Um, and you're going to feel a sense of satisfaction when you are mindful in your interactions. You will feel the the beauty of not having to be right or wrong, the understanding that for some of us that family is that the sacrifices we make sometimes for our family is to try and understand them and not judge them. This really feels like this week we might be faced with some of the old stuff, you know, the ancestral stuff, the family programming, the patterns, and this is that a week to see past it, to surrender, to not have to be, like I said, you don't have to be right, to just be with people, and to focus on the good, focus on the beauty, the gifts, the love, the joy that wants to come through. Your heart is going to be expanding deeper into an awareness of what you truly love and what's really important to you. Your heart feels tender, it feels beautiful. There's going to be aspects of this week where your heart is so touched. And so you're going to feel so loved and you're going to be so grateful. And that is going to take you through any difficulty or challenges of this week. Okay? Sheesh. December 25th, we go into Capricorn energy. It's the Capricorn stellium begins, and it's here until January. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Pluto, all in Capricorn. Apply yourself and do the work. That's that sacrifice too, right? We have to do the work to get to the other side of things. We have to do the work to build our futures. And when I say build your future, what I mean, I don't like to think that you have to do it all your own, but if you are building something, you're going to be in a specific frequency and you're going to be thinking certain things. So make sure that that's where you're keeping your eyes on the target, if you will. Okay. And then last but not least, the 27th. Let's see what we have going on. Let's get something light. How about a light card? Jesus. Oh, really? The gosh dang hermit again. What is happening? So, boy, oh boy, we're just being told by spirit. This is a spiritual month, right? I mean, we have the crown chakra card. This is the card of going internal, processing, integrating. I mean, it's so clear that this feels like, although it's a big month where there's a lot of stuff that happens externally, like holiday parties and all the things, and this is a big month of like really taking care of ourselves internally so we can hold all those energies and intensities that are happening externally for us. This feels very lovely to me in the sense that you want to close out this year with the people that you love the most, in the energy that you want to bring into the next year. Really kind of marinating in the purpose that is starting to really come through for a lot of you, or that thing that you want to do that's more aligned with your heart. It feels like this is the time to really just deepen into all of that while having fun. There's very much more a playful energy for this hermit card than there was the other this week. It's not to say you won't be playful, but this one feels much more like light and playful to me, where it's kind of like you might realize, like, I need to have some fun. You know, this has been a month and there's a lot going on, and I want to prioritize joy. I want to prioritize the things in my life that make me a happy soul and being. And this is the week too that I really want you to understand what are the energies that your soul loves to play in. Because these are the things that will create your reality, and these are the things that are going to bring you more joy while there's just a lot happening. And so, all good stuff. Always, there's no bad cards, there's no bad energy. This is really just a guideline, right, to how you can adhere to, you know, the highest for your soul and how to navigate. So, it was a pleasure getting to hang out with you guys. I did that in but I wanted to be succinct with this one this week or this month. So I hope you have a beautiful December, and let's finish this year off on a high note and really being tapped into our best and highest and really moving through this month with grace and trusting, just trusting the whole